we'll deal about addition of vectors today. Before that, I want to give some introduction about vectors again. What is that? Vectors. What do you mean by vectors? It is denoted by a Greek word. It is denoted from Greek word. What is that Greek word? Called vectors. Meaning, what is the meaning of this? Carrier. You know what do you mean by carrier? Something which is conveyed in particular direction. Something which is conveyed or transferred in particular direction. Correct now? That is carrier. That is nothing but meaning of carrier. Now why this term vector is being used? Before that I have to go for certain things. What is that? We know that physical quantity is classified into two types. Scalar quantity and vector quantity. Scalar quantity means a physical quantity which is having magnitude, a physical quantity which has got magnitude as well as direction. What do you mean by this? What we are talking about? Physical quantity means mass, length, time, power, energy, work, intensity. All these things are physical quantities which we are using in physics. Anything which you can be measurable, that is one physical quantity. Height of the person, height is a one physical quantity which I can measure it. So in that we categorize into two types, scalar quantity and vector quantity. Scalar quantity are those physical quantities which has got only magnitude. So certain requirement when I am measuring certain physical quantity, only magnitude is required. For example, I will take this duster and I will measure the mass of this duster. Now I will measure the mass of this duster in this direction and I will measure the mass of duster in this direction. In whatever direction I measure the mass of this duster is never going to change. So certain physical quantities are there where only value is required. What is it? I will take an engine. You take car engine and start engine. It produces a power. So power of an engine you calculate it. Now reverse the engine. Again calculate the energy. And keep the vertical like this engine. Tilt the engine. Again you calculate the power. So the certain quantities are there which are not depending on any direction. What is it? They are not depending on any direction. Those quantities are called scalar quantities. Let us come to vector quantity. This is very important. Certain quantities are there where magnitude and directions are required. Suppose you are running. When you are running, you will be moving with certain velocities. When you are moving with certain velocity, what is the velocity of a person he is moving? If I ask, you have to tell two things. One is its value. Value means what? Magnitude. For example, mass is equal to 10 kg. If I say this is the magnitude value of mass, 10 kg is the magnitude value of mass. So here, when I was talking about velocity, if a car is moving with a velocity, two things I am going to tell. One, its magnitude. Sir, he is moving with 10 meter per second. You are going to say. The next question which I am going to ask is with what direction? Because I wanted to know whether he is going towards Hubli or he is going towards Dharwad. Correct, no? So certain quantities are there where two things are required. What are those? One, its value. Another one is its direction. If, for example, I will tell you, if I apply force to this duster from this direction, the duster will move this. If I apply same force from upward, duster is moving downward. If I apply same force from this direction, duster is moving this side. If force was a scalar quantity, in whatever direction if I apply a force, this duster could have behaved in the same manner. But it is not behaving like that. It is not behaving like that. Then what I could say? These quantities are all quantities which require magnitude as well as direction to express them, to measure them or to express them. Those type of quantities are vector quantity. Example, velocity, displacement, then what? Speed is a scalar quantity again, because I don't want direction for speed. I have defined in physics, but in reality actually I want. That is why I defined in physics speed and velocity. Speed I put into category of direction not required. Velocity I put into category direction is required. This is, we have done it. Physics people have done it. Correct now? So because it was a requirement to learn those quantities. But the meaning, speed and velocity both are same formula wise. Are you getting that? So that is different. Now I was trying to tell you that the example of physical, there are many vector quantities, as you know. Example, force, which requires direction, then main thing is force, then velocity, acceleration, torque. There are some quantities where a requirement of direction is needed. If I ask you certain quantities from now onwards, if I ask you any physical quantity in physics, you must first recognize it whether it is a scalar or vector quantity. That is why if I introduce any term, new word, in the properties we will mention it is a scalar quantity, it is a vector quantity. Why we are mentioning? Because by knowing that if I ask you power, you have to tell only its magnitude value, because power is a scalar quantity. If I ask you mass, you must not worry about the direction, just you need to tell the value of mass. Suppose if I ask you force from now onwards, you have to tell two things. Sir, force is being applied 10 Newton in the direction of given data, or in this case it is towards the east direction. It is towards the east direction. So first job is for you from now onwards, if you see any physical quantity, first recognize this quantity has to be measured its only value or direction. Second thing, when somebody asks you find the value of force, you must, two things has to be coming into your mind. What is that? You have to measure the magnitude value as well as its direction in numericals everywhere. Correct now? So two things. What is that? If any quantity is a vector, if you want to calculate and tell somebody, please make sure that tell its magnitude value and direction. This is about vector quantity. So to learn this, we are learning a chapter called vectors. I told you this is the Greek word carrier, which is conveyed towards particular direction. So now vectors is actually a mathematical chapter which you are learning in physics. You learn vectors again in the mathematics also. Here, now when I said vector is a mathematical chapter, mathematical chapter, we have to know certain skills of that chapter, how to solve certain things. Correct now? We have to know certain things to solve. What are those things? You will be getting certain things. I said you will get an idea what I am talking about. Correct now? For that, let us show what is a vector. Vector is a line, arrow mark. Vector is an arrow line which starts from point tail. This is the starting point of vector. It keeps on growing. This is head. Correct now? This is head. Where with arrow mark, wherever arrow mark is there, this is the head of the vector. Where starting point is there, that is tail of the vector. It keeps on growing like this. It keeps on growing like this. And the length of this line, represents what? The length of this line represents magnitude of vector, and the direction. Arrow mark represents direction. Correct? Now here, this is one way of representing. What is that? This is a vector line. Length of the line represents magnitude of this vector. Let's say this vector is A. This is the way I will write symbol. This vector is A. If I put one arrow mark on a particular alphabetic letter, that considered as a vector. Correct? Let's say this is a vector A. When I take this vector A, I must represent its magnitude and direction. Correct now? Length of this line represents the magnitude of this direction. When length of, in this case, arrow mark, in this arrow mark, see here, for example, I will take one displacement vector such that its value is 10 meter. If I take that, 10 meter represents this length of this line. Are you understanding? 10 meter represents the length of this line. Arrow mark represents in this direction. Now, displacement vector is 10 meter means 10 meter represents the length of this line. I will assume that this length of the line is 10 meter. I am going to assume and I am going to make it. Because I cannot draw a 10 meter line there. If I draw 10-meter line, this board is nearly 1 meter. Can you imagine now to draw 10-meter line there? It is not possible. So I will assume that whatever the vector is there, displacement is a vector. That magnitude is represented as length of this line, and direction is represented as arrow. Are you getting that? Suppose if I write, and how it is being denoted? Magnitude of a vector is being denoted. If I denote A as a vector, give symbol A as a vector, magnitude of vector I will give symbol as mod of vector A. This means, or just if I write A, both are telling that magnitude of the vector. If I just write A or put arrow mark on A and write mod, this is the symbol for magnitude of vector. What is the symbol for direction? Symbol for direction is A cap. Now this vector is having a magnitude A and direction is A cap. Correct? No? So I can make mathematical definition. What is a vector mathematically? Vector is nothing but a quantity which has got magnitude and direction. This is the basic formula for a vector of this arrow mark. That arrow mark represents any physical quantity. This arrow mark is representing any physical quantity. It is representing that force is moving in this direction, velocity is moving in this direction. That is what the chapter mathematical technique we are using in physics. In physics, this vector can be anything. It can be any vector quantity. In mathematics, just you will learn it as an arrow mark vector line. But in physics, this vector mark, you will learn it as for a particular vector quantity. That's the difference between maths and physics here. Application part, you will learn of the mathematics. So, one definition I give. You will be having what is A cap. A cap is nothing but, what is that? Unit vector. What do you mean by unit vector if I ask? Its magnitude is 1. Its magnitude value is 1 unit. So one thing I can say, for every vector A, there is a unit vector. For every vector A, there is a unit vector. What I am trying to tell, why did I tell this statement? If I take this as vector A, another vector A, correct now? I can take direction like this also, no problem. If I take one vector, this is tail, this is head. You try to understand, what is unit vector? This vector magnitude is length of this line. What is A cap unit vector? Its magnitude must be 1 unit. In this vector, if I draw a line which is having a length of 1 unit. Length of 1 unit means this is 10 meter means this is 1 meter. If this is 100 meter means again this is 1 meter. If it is 1 kilometer means, 10 kilometer means this is 1 meter. If the length of the line, whatever you measure, this small vector of having 1 unit is called unit vector, A cap. Its direction always will be, this is what I am considering the direction, because if I multiply any magnitude value to this vector, this value remains same. This value remains same and it is only representing direction. Correct now? 1 into any value of mod A is mod A only. Correct now? That is why A cap unit vector. Why I am keeping A cap here? A cap I am keeping to show the direction. This is the direction of a vector A. Correct now? Always for every vector, there will be a unit vector to represent direction. If this is a vector A, the unit vector will be this one, B cap. It represents only direction on this part. Are you understanding? This is a unit vector which has got length 1 unit of anything. Correct now? For example, if there is a vector F force having 10 Newton, so I will draw one line of 1 Newton. This vector line is F cap. It is representing direction. What it is representing direction? It is representing the direction vector, direction for vector force. That is 10 Newton. Because in this definition, here I can write like this. What is that? F is equal to mod of F into f cap. Whatever the value, your value is 10. What is the value of f cap? 1. 10 into 1 will give you what? Again 10. Then why f cap is required? It represents the direction along this guy. It is only representing direction. So this is about a cap, nothing more else. A cap is a unit vector. I utilize it to give the direction for a particular vector. So what I can tell you is, for every vector there will be one unit vector which represents direction. This is my conclusion for this. Correct? Huh? That is the basic formula. Keep remember, very important formula this is. For every time when I say vector, I will find the odd value and cap value. Cap value means direction. Got it? Addition of vectors. Addition of vectors. What is addition of vectors? Why addition of vectors is required? It is required because we are measuring certain physical quantities and we have to add them. But why we are learning it separately? Because suppose you take one scalar quantity, mass m 8 kg, mass 2 10 kg. If I ask you total mass how much, you will tell 18 kg. It was very simple for you. It was very simple for you. Suppose if I ask 1 force F1, 5 Newton is in this direction, F2 is in this direction. Correct now? It is F2 is in this direction. What is the total force acting? What is the total force acting? 5 plus 10 is a wrong answer. Is a wrong answer. Because for vector quantity 15, that is 15. Wrong. You cannot, this F1 plus F2 cannot be 15 Newton when you are adding. These are also two physical quantities. But why it is not possible? Because this is a vector quantity. The direction of this value, of course values are there. You cannot add those values because the values of F1 is along this direction. 5 Newton force is applied in this direction. The magnitude value of 10, that is 10 Newton, is applied in this inclined direction. So if you add them, F1 plus F2 will not be equal to 15. Will not be equal to 15. That is why you are learning separately to add vectors to product vectors. You will learn separately like this, addition of vectors. Correct now? That is what you are going to learn. Let us learn about that. So to analyze that, we have made what is that? 3 laws from this. One is triangular law of vector addition. Second one is parallelogram law of vector. 3 laws we made 2. Add vectors. Third one is polygon law. Polygon law. One by one we will study. What is that? First we will study about triangular law of vector addition. Triangular law of this vector addition. Got it now? I am going to rub this. See here. Triangular law of vector addition. What this law says? If two sides of the triangle, what is that? If two sides of the triangle, this is triangle ABC. If two sides of the triangle, let's take AB and BC, represent the two vectors. If two sides of the triangle represents the two vectors, the addition of these two vectors, if two sides of the triangle represents two vectors in the same order, correct now? The third side of the resultant of these two vectors, resultant means the addition of these two vectors will be represented by third side of the triangle in opposite direction. Order of the triangle has to be like this, but it is in opposite direction. So once again I repeat, if two sides sides of the triangle represents two vectors which are in same order. That means same order means if head of the vector P, head, this is the head, correct now? This is the head of vector Q. If head of the vector Q coincides with the tail of Q, vector Q, correct now? At the time the sum of these two vectors will be the vector which is having tail at the point of vector P, tail of the vector P, and the vector which is having the head on the head of the vector Q. That is what I am trying to say. So our resultant of, or resultant means addition. Generally addition we call adding of vectors resultant. Resultant of these two vectors is the sum of these two vectors. If two vectors represent the two sides of the triangle in the same order, the third side of the triangle which is in opposite order will represent the resultant of these two vectors. This is the triangle of addition. Correct now? Here you can write R is equal to P plus Q. R is equal to P plus Q means if I say P is equal to 10 meter, Q is equal to 15 meter, sir, resultant will be 25 meter. That is not. I said this vector line will represent what? Addition of these two vectors. Addition of these two vectors. This vector represents addition of these two vectors means what I am trying to tell, if you measure the length of this resultant vector, that will be its value of the resultant vector, magnitude of the resultant vector. Direction already I have shown, this is the direction of the vector. But magnitude, if you measure the third side of the triangle, if you measure the length, if you know this length, if you know this length, for example, the third side of the length will be resultant of these two vectors, adding of two vectors. Correct now? That is what first thing. Correct now? Now how to, now the question, once I calculated resultant vector consists of two things. What is that? Magnitude and direction. Let us calculate magnitude of this resultant vector. Magnitude of the this resultant vector. So if I calculate, I make the same diagram. Let us take this is vector P and I'll make a little bit bigger diagram such that this is one P vector, this is one Q vector, this is one Q vector. Let's say this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. The addition of these two vectors, I said, this is third vector, resultant R. I need to find the magnitude value of this R, magnitude of this resultant vector. See here, one trick I will do. I will extend this line. I will extend this line. Correct now? Very simple. If this is vector, if I let's say this angle is theta. What is that angle? Let's say the angle is theta. What is this angle? This is the angle between this vector and this vector. Correct now? This is the angle between this vector and this vector. If you shift this vector here, it becomes angle theta. Correct now? ABCD, let us take this point as P. If you ask me, what is this value? Let us take the mod value of this is P. This is P. This is the value is Q. Correct now? From these values here, if I measure this length from triangle BCD, from triangle BCD, what is BD? Cos theta is equal to BD divided by Q, where Q is the magnitude value of vector Q. Q is the magnitude. I told you. What I told you? I can write like this, or else I can write like this. Q is the magnitude of this value. So your BD can be written as Q cos theta. This distance is how much? Q cos theta. Got it? Next, from this triangle, sin theta is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. So sin theta is equal to CD by Q. This is hypotenuse. How much? Magnitude value of this vector q. So q or CD can be written as q sin. So here this distance is how much? Q sin. This distance is how much? Q sin. I am going to rub here. I am finding the magnitude value of resultant vector. If I add these two vectors, what will be its value? If you know this value, magnitude value P and this magnitude value as Q, I am calculating. Once I know this, from triangle ACD, AC square, Pythagoras theorem, AC square is equal to CD square plus DA square, or AC square is equal to AD square plus BC square. What is AC square? Let us take this as R. R is the magnitude of the resultant vector. R is the magnitude. AD square. What is AD square? What is this value? This is P. Vector P. This is not length. I am just measuring the magnitude of this value. This is vector P. This is Q cos theta. This is vector P. This is Q cos theta. So here P plus Q cos theta whole square plus what is CD square? What is CD square? CD square is or DC square is Q square sin square theta. So the magnitude value of this, what is that? PQ cos theta can be written as P square Q square sin theta, P square plus Q square sin theta plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q square sin theta plus Q square sin theta. So R will be equal to Q square sin square theta plus Q square. Sorry, I have made a mistake here. This will be not P square. Q square cos square theta. A plus B whole square, A square plus B square plus 2AB plus Q square sin square cos theta. Q square cos theta plus Q square sin theta. Q square cos square theta. Sorry, let me write here again. Q square sin square theta plus Q square cos square theta. If you take from these two terms Q square common, sin square theta plus cos square theta. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So the resultant value will be P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos. This is square, this has to be square. 2PQ cos theta. 2PQ cos theta. If I want to write or what is the value? Let me write here. I am going to rub here. This value will be R is equal to root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is very important. This R is nothing but magnitude of this resultant vector. What is the value? Magnitude of P square, value of Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, where theta is the angle between this vector and this vector. Now vector Q can be written as, vector P can be written as like this. The angle between them is theta. If I shift this vector here like this will be the angle between two vectors. This is theta. This is very important for you. So you know how to find directly. If you know the value of this vector, find the value of this vector. This will be P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Got it? This is magnitude. Let us find the direction. Of the result. Let us find the direction. Before that, here, even I can write this is mod of vector A plus B, not mod of vector A plus B. Vector P plus Q will be equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Got it? Why I am stressing out writing this formula? because this is very important. It is very important. Got it? If I want to find the direction, let us find. Whatever I am writing, students, you have to make a notes out of it. Then only you will understand, because I have to cover up a lot of things. So I am writing here, here, here. That is why you have to stick to the notes. When you are watching my videos, please make sure that make notes. Then only you will get sense. See here. Direction. If you want to find the direction of the resultant vector. If you want to find the direction of this resultant vector, how to find? What I will do? I will measure this angle. Let's say angle alpha. Angle is alpha. What is this angle? Angle made by this resultant vector. Angle made by this resultant vector to this P vector. That is horizontal vector. First vector, P vector. Let's say R is the resultant vector made to the P vector. Direction is given by, how to find direction? I can write from this tan alpha, or from the triangle, from triangle ACD, I can write tan alpha is equal to opposite by base. What is opposite side? Q sin theta. What is base side? Base side is how much? P plus Q cos theta. So alpha is equal to tan inverse of Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. P plus Q cos theta. P plus Q. This alpha always in physics, observe, when they are talking about direction, they will ask you what? Angle. Direction, what is the direction when they tell you in physics? You will have to focus on angles. Because generally, you can say direction by knowing the angles. In vector, sometimes I cap, A cap, that is another way of finding directions. But generally, if I find the angle which is making to P vector, this angle, if angle is alpha is 45 degree means I will analyze it. I will draw a line 45 degree. If alpha is 60 degree means this will be the direction. Usually direction represents angle. This is the direction of this resultant vector. I believe this is clear. Let us go to, I will take the application numericals on all of this. First I will finish 3 laws. Then we will understand it more.